Firstly, to those affected, happy Father's Day. I know it's not the same in all regions, but if you are a father, you are a legend. Hello everyone and welcome back to SwitchUp. I hope you've had a good week. The Nintendo Switch 2 release has been absolutely bonkers. We're going to have a look at some Nintendo Switch games that are on sale. If there are any Switch 2 ones, maybe a couple of those as well. Spoiler, there aren't. But I will be recommending games that run well on the Switch 2. Or for the most part I will. I haven't actually tested all of them, but I have tested a lot. Now if you'd like to win a free game each and every week, just leave your lovely comments down below. Remember we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 on the channel, and that will be announced this week. Alright, what are the best games on the Nintendo eShop? Can you hear the smile on my face? And yes, I will give you a little update on the FarmUp at the end. Well, my name's Mark Walker, welcome back to SwitchUp. Now let's find out. The first game in the list is No Man's Sky, which is 60% off, taking it down to £19.99, but only for another 20 or so hours. Now the reason I recommend it is because, well, it's amazing. They've added a bunch of new content into it, but there's also a completely free Switch 2 upgrade, which brings it in line with all the other platforms, adding in multiplayer support, better visuals, but don't let it put you off if you're on the Switch 1. It runs much better than it did at launch. It's a really enjoyable and actually very cathartic and relaxing game. You can build a base, name a planet. You can even name a little creature on a planet and go for a little joyride. An excellent experience. It fits into 6.8 gigs. I think this matches its cheapest ever price. Definitely worth checking out. If you're interested in what the update adds for Switch 2, I do have a video of that, so you can go check that out. But as I say, that one finishes, well, if it's Monday, this one may be finished already. You might just sneak in.
It wasn't possible before and is new for Switch 2. On the original Switch, we were maybe the only...
Then we've got Metal Gear. Yeah. That's a bit cringy, isn't it? Metal Gear Solid The Master Collection Volume 1 is half price until June the 25th, and it's £24.99 or your regional equivalent, and features Metal Gear Solid 1, 2 and 3. The Switch was the first place I got to enjoy those, but they are great games. The first one, I remember when it came out on PlayStation, picking it up and being... There's like the first section where you stealth out of the water. You're like creeping around, pushing your back against the wall. I remember just thinking, this is like nothing I've ever played before. And there were things like Siphon Filter and stuff, which were good games. But this had something special. And I guess that's just that Hideo Kojima magic, the weirdness that he brings to his games. These are well worth it. I enjoyed number 2 a bunch. I thought it was great. Number 3 took a while to get into. There are a couple of weird boss fights, but it was quality as well. Definitely worth picking up on the Switch if you're wondering. Switch 2, you're going to get about the same performance because they're capped. And I haven't heard of any issues, but they are a 26 gigabyte download. So I would say that was big back in the day. But now with the sizes of some of these Switch 2 games, it's absolutely bonkers.
Having faith. What we had faith in. What we found important enough to fight for.
Neon White is a brilliant experience, very clever. It's 50% off until June the 25th. What is it? It's a parkour, action, visual novel mashup. Each stage has these like cards that you can pick up, and they will enable you to do a move or perform something, and you've got to reach the end of them as fast as you can, like each area. But then in between that, you've got this adventure visual novel experience set in and around heaven where you're investigating some stuff. I'll be honest, it's been so long since I played it, I can't even remember. But I loved it. I just thought it was amazing. One of those I think that a lot of you take 2 looks at it, one, and just go, yeah, no. But it's really very good. Go check out the full review. It's a 4.7 gig download, and that sale goes on until June the 25th. Mark of the Ninja Remastered at 75% off until June the 19th. It's just £4.49 or your regional equivalent, and is a much easier explanation. It's a side perspective stealth action game, and it's very good. So fun. Nice, stylistic art choice. Takes a little while to master that stealth, but once you do, you're just blasting through stages. I was actually playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag the other day, testing the performance on Switch 2, which is pretty darn good, by the way. And there's like a stage where you go to an island with some Templars, and I forgot how good, like Assassin's Creed when it's working well is great. And that was, I was just like slicing through this island like a knife through butter. Well, I say slicing actually, I was knocking everyone out because I like to do these like non-lethal runs. Don't ask me why, I just do. And yeah, just really enjoying it. And this kind of reminds me of that. Once you get the flow, you're just slicing through enemies. Really enjoyable game, that one. And at just £4.49, yeah, not bad at all for Mark of the Ninja, and a 3.4 gig download. Now, Tinykin at 75% off, really well worth it. It takes it to £5.39 until July the 2nd. I need to test this one out on Switch 2, but I imagine it will run brilliantly. But still, the Switch 1 version, they had a lot of love for it and they kept patching it, improving it, and it runs fine, mostly 30 FPS, a couple of drops and dips here and there, but that's almost par for the course with Switch 1. A bit like Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, you go into all the different rooms of this house and you've got this one aim of finding a component for something you're building, but you control these Tinykin, and once you've got enough of them, they kind of follow you around and they'll carry that component for you. Flip switches, move objects. Yeah, great games. Sentinels Aegis Rim at 75% off is probably one of the best deals on the eShop at the moment until June 19th. It's £12.49. It's one of those where I didn't expect to like it really at all. I remember getting the review code, kind of sat down, someone was like, oh yeah, this company are amazing, you should definitely check this one out. I was like, okay, but I was new to them really, and it was just such a pleasant surprise. On the one hand, you had these almost side perspective, a bit Persona-like sections. And then on the other, you had this real-time or semi-real-time, almost strategy RPG. Like a strategy, turn-based strategy. That's what I'm looking for. You know, like from this weird perspective, completely different art style, but it just works. There's all this time hopping as well. I'm a big fan of time jumping in games. I just finished a game called Close to the Sun. Don't know if you remember it. It's like set on this ship under the ocean where Tesla has basically created this society, a bit like BioShock. But it was so bad on Switch 1 that I couldn't finish it. I was like, no, this is so terrible. So I just picked it up on Switch 2 and it was flawless. So I finished it and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. But actually, it had this really disappointing end. It's annoying that, isn't it? When games like, they start so well and they end so badly. That's not the case for 13 Sentinels. It starts well and it just gets better. And I guess that's why everyone kept telling me that I needed to play it. Do go check out our review of it. It's a great game, and yeah, I think one that you may be finding just, I don't know, sneaks its way into your backlog.
That area is under attack by D forces. I gotta dance with these chumps first.
Let's do this together.
DUSK is from a single indie developer, and it's an, I don't know, 90s style. They like to call them boomer shooters, don't they? But that annoys me because I'm not a boomer. And I was there at the start. I feel like I was. Maybe I was probably just too young to actually be playing them. But it's a 3D, old school, first-person shooter. Lovely smooth controls. Bit of a Nintendo 64 vibe to it. And at the moment, just £5.95. And a little 1.6 gig download as well. Really good game. Don't be put off by the very dark kind of red visuals, you know. Sometimes you look at things and you're like, oh, looks a bit miserable. But it is not. It's not at all. Well, I guess it kind of is on the one side, but it's a very fun, easy to pick up game. And quite challenging as well, actually. Yeah, good one. That sale for DUSK goes on until June the 19th. Which then brings me to another segue that I'm going to waffle about, but I'll tell you the game first. We've got Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which is 40% off. Now, with the advent of the Switch 2, there is no space left on any of my Switch 2 is just completely filled up. My Switch 1 is all right because you could have those 1 terabyte cards, but there's just not enough space with Switch 2. So I've started to really go towards physical editions of Switch 1 games, which is something I never did in the past. Like, I know a lot of you are collectors and stuff like that. It's just not something I did. I didn't really see a reason to, but now I really need that. You know, I need to be able to put the cartridges and just play the game. So I undid my Shin Megami copy the other day and stuck this in. Man, I forgot how much I love this game. And it was weird because I remember playing it and thinking, what is the fuss about? What on earth is this? Like, this is weird. I'm in this alternate universe. Of course, they've managed to get a school full of kids in there like they always do. It's so like standard, isn't it, for this developer? They just put these high schools in. Why is it always a high school? Put it in like, I don't know. I can't think of a good alternative. Put it there. But anyway, I remembered why I loved it, or why I gradually got into it, and that was the fusion of the different monsters. It has this almost Pokemon aspect to it with these weird demon creatures. And once you really delve into those, yeah, the addictive nature really kicks in. And this one at 32 quid, you might think, oh, that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money. You are getting a lot of game. Now, the Vengeance version of it was added later. It adds a second protagonist, it improves a lot of the mechanics, adds in some quality of life things that should have been in the original. It just makes it a better game, really. So yeah, if you're considering that, Glen actually has a full review of that one on the channel. So that is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Then we've got one that I've put into the list because the change for Switch 2 is absolutely insane. And again, you've only got like 20 hours to consider pickering it up. Wow. It's Caravan Sandwitch at 30% off, which goes on until June the 16th, so you haven't got long at all. It's £15.74, 1.6 gigs to download, and it's an open world. How would you describe this one? It's like an adventure, walking simulator, exploration game. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that definition. It has a lovely soundtrack, like really very good. It also, you wouldn't think it, but has a space theme. So you start out on a space station, you go down to this planet. I think you're looking for a relative or something along those lines. And you get this like camper van thing that you ride around in. But on Switch 1, I wouldn't recommend it, really. I just wouldn't. Like, it runs pretty badly, like so anywhere between 20 and 40 FPS, generally in the lower regions. On Switch 2, it's 60 frames per second, flawless all the time. It's like butter, and it's so much more enjoyable to play. It's another one that we have a full dedicated video, and I think it was a sponsored vid, but still it gives you all the details without any opinions, you know? It's just like, this is what it is. But I can tell you here that it's very, very worth it and a good game. The last one then, before we look at some Savaloys, is 1000X Resist, which is 25% off until June the 20th, a complete gem of a game. I did recommend it to you maybe 6 months ago. I think it hit a sale that was worthwhile, and then this is just as good, like a nice chunky one. £12.56 it cost me, not bad at all, and it's a 5.9 gig download. I can't articulate what this one's really about. You've got this society that has this overseeing, like all-mother, something like that. Something's gone wrong. You basically play as someone that helps to stabilize that society. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, and they do certain things to achieve that. Things go awry, it goes very bizarre. It has a surrealist aspect to it that actually I am really starting to appreciate. The more games I play that are generic, when something tries to push the boat, I'm like, man, this is amazing. In fact, I finally cracked the church dance scene in Disco Elysium yesterday, and my goodness, there's something about the song that plays. It kind of summarizes the manic speed of like adulthood when you're a parent. Like, there's something about it, like a parent gamer, you know, or like an adult gamer, or you're just like, I don't know, you're like an employee and you're on that treadmill. Like, this song here is that. So yeah, 1000X Resist, worth considering, very interesting game. Our Fedcook Savaloy selection, the games that are very cheap that you may just find, well, they might just find their way into your backlog without you even knowing what happened. We'll keep it simple today. We've got Gone Home, a bit of a walking simulator around this house, reminiscing from your past, 80% off, down to £2.39. Inside, the sequel to Limbo at 90% off, £1.69. Very good, runs better on Switch 2, yes please. And then Limbo at 90% off, 89 pence, another one worth slotting into your backlog if you haven't done so already. And that, my friends, is it for this week. It's nice to get back. I had a lot of comments saying, Sunday without sales last week was an abysmal time. You really didn't know what to do with yourselves. Some of you sat staring, just refreshing the page, and some of you didn't care at all. So if you enjoyed the content, let me know down below. Oh, I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for FarmUp.
Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to FarmUp. You might be like, what's FarmUp? You might be new to the channel. It's this completely pointless section of the video where I essentially work on the allotment. Completely unrelated to the Switch 2 or the Switch 1 or any sale games. But I'm trying to get rid of these weeds. Look at the state of that. You might get a time lapse, but something quite cathartic about weeding. Quite like it. Let's set this camera up and then we can like speed through it. You can have a speed run. Let's go from this angle over here. Okay.
And it's just carnage. The weeds are ridiculous. So I sat out there, did a bit of weeding, and managed to get rid of most of the weeds in the area, and then gave up because I was too hot. So yeah, that's your farm update for the week. If you don't know what FarmUp is and you're sat here, you're new to the channel, you're like, what on earth have I just witnessed? Well, quite frankly, none of us really know. I've got an allotment and I go out there and I try and grow things, and for some weird reason I put it on the channel every now and then. So yeah, nice one. Thanks to all of you, our Patreons, our members, and all of you that enjoyed the content for all things Switch and Switch 2. I mean, it's Switch, isn't it? It works. I'm just remembering that guy saying, oh, you're gonna have to change your name when the next console comes out. Well, matey, who's got the last laugh now? Keep your Switch up. Cheers, guys. See ya.